Sunday morning, the 26th of January. It's about midday. I woke up late this morning. It's Sunday, and do you know what? For the first time in what seems like months, I thought to myself, no, I'm going to not get up in a hurry. I'm going to lay in bed and read for 20 minutes. And I did that, and then I got up and I sort of strolled to the window and looked down the street. And it's England, and it's January, so it's raining, and it's grey. And I saw the people out 10 o'clock this morning going to church. I heard the bells going, and that started me off. And I thought, oh, what is it? What is it about people going to church on the sun's day, Sunday? Maybe we should be worshipping the sun. And I thought, what is it that makes people go to church to worship a deity or a being or a person or an imagery or an idol? You know, for 25,000 years, well, at least for a good 7,000 or 8,000 years, there's always been some type of head honcho sat on a throne or on a cross or whatever, which we've got to worship. And the crazy thing is, it's always some old celibate man in a skirt. And I'm not bothered whether it's Hindu or Catholic or Muslim or Sikh or Protestant. But it's always some old man with a skirt saying, give your children to me and you can only talk to God through me. And I suggest that this is somewhat of an outdated approach. Used to be children would enter the church. Mind you, it's not just the churches. I was only talking to a couple of astrologers in recent days about how increasingly obvious it is at how detached politicians are from the people they are allegedly representing. Now, I can only speak directly for the country that I live in, but it seems that across the world, the political elite are completely out of touch with what is happening on the streets. To the point where, at least in Britain, politicians are becoming increasingly irrelevant. No one listens to them. No one cares what they think. The numbers of people voting is falling through the floor. And when that happens, something new will spring up to take its place. And already I'm thinking, well, you know, there's some companies out there, particularly for an example, just as an example, Google, whose motive is don't be bad or do no evil or something like that. They'd be far better at running this country than any of the political groups because they're inventive and they don't do harm. So, I don't know, it's just an idea, but certainly the idea of politicians representing me and choosing what's best for me and my ilk at this time seems so incongruous with the reality of life on the streets. And then there's the corporates, the business people who are the real cancer of humanity. Those who are driven by profit. When I hear that 85 people in the world own more than half the people in the world, and then I hear certain other people going, oh yeah, I want to be one of those 85. And it's like, ha. And I question, am I on the wrong planet at the wrong time? Did I really volunteer to come down here where this sycophantical, profit-making, religious and politically egotistical driven society is fragmented and dichotomized by individuals who just lay down and let people walk all over them? I guess I did. I was only talking to someone today talking about how instead of karma and fate and destiny, I work with free will and choice and self-determination. And in that context, that we're born unknowing. We volunteer to come here. We've got a clear mission statement, a clear narrative to what we're supposed to be doing and why we volunteered to come here on planet Earth at this time. But part of the deal we made with the universe, when we came here, is that at the instant of birth we forget. And we spend most of the rest of our life remembering why we volunteered to come here. Seems to me, well, if you want to find out astrologically what I'm talking about, explore your North Node. But it seems to me that there's a kind of insidious, growing resentment on the behalf of an increasingly educated populace who are becoming disenchanted and resentful of the systems of organisation that control their lives, whether they be banks, churches, political systems or corporate companies. They're all the same. They're all run by a bunch of patriarchal old men with little dicks. And it's time for the patriarchy to voluntarily and willingly choose to step down and meet the rest of the world halfway. Because if it doesn't, it's going to happen anyway. And it's better done willingly than kicking and screaming. Okay, Sunday sermon over. Back to astrology later. Bye.